Opening shot, when it comes to the troubled Cook County court system, there is a new sheriff in town. His name is Charles Beach, and he was elected by his peers to serve out the 3-year term starting today, unseating powerful former incumbent Tim Evans, who held on to that post for 24 years. Now, Beach inherits a sprawling system of hundreds of judges making decisions every day that can have monumental impacts on public safety. And we've seen that up close over the last several weeks with multiple high-profile crimes allegedly committed by offenders who were out of jail on electronic monitoring for previous crimes. Now, the electronic monitoring program is in disarray right now as the Cook County Sheriff's Office is in the midst of transitioning the control of it to the Chief Judge. And Chief Judge Evans, who left office prior to today, has claimed there is no way to police right now if somebody violates the terms of their pretrial release. And unfortunately, as CWB Chicago first reported, loop arson suspect Lawrence Reed was in violation for a previous crime when he allegedly set a young woman on fire on the CTA. Now, Judge Evans's claims make the following fact even more daunting. There are currently anywhere between 2,000 and 2,500 offenders released on electronic monitoring on any given day or any given week as part of the program. Now, including for the most severe felonies like murder or attempted murder, sexual assault, and assault with a weapon. Consider the fact that the administrator says that many of those folks on home confinement, if they wind up outside, there's nothing anyone can do about it but give them a black mark the next time they appear for trial. Now, that is a system that sounds like it's destined to fail, as it has over and over again recently. Now, today in his introductory comments, Beach avoided talking about the program, instead laying out a broader vision for how courts will operate under his watch, one that will focus on justice, fairness, and kindness to others.
Fairness. Stoic fairness is the rejection of bias and the commitment to treat every individual with dignity. It means what Judge O'Connell practiced. The facts and the law drive the case, not favoritism or prejudice. We must be relentless in seeking out and dismantling any barriers, visible or invisible, that impede equal treatment in our courtrooms.
And fairness and equality, of course, laudable aims, but when a judge looks at an offender's rap sheet with 71 arrests, including multiple for assaulting women in public, and decides that that person is not a threat to the community, something might need to change. Might I suggest one more pillar for Chief Judge Beach? Justice and safety for victims of crime. No criminal justice system can operate without that as a central tenet. Tonight, controversy at Christkindlmarket. Why vendors at the popular German Winter Festival at Daley Plaza are reeling from Mayor Johnson's last-minute decision to limit crowds. The oft-debated Safety Act. Is it responsible for recent high-profile crimes like the loop burning? And does it need to change? We get both sides of the argument. And welcome to the Chicago Report. I'm Paris Schutz. Thank you for spending some of this snowy post-Thanksgiving Monday with us. Those lines outside Christkindlmarket should be easing some in the coming days after the city announced an agreement to start increasing capacity. Now, this comes after it abruptly cut the capacity at half of COVID-era levels for safety reasons. But the vendors say it's been a shock to their system, and they're not able to pay the bills with the much smaller crowds. And of course, then there's lines and lines of hardy festival goers who cannot get in. And joining us now from Daley Plaza is Mark Tompkins, president of the German-American Chamber of Commerce of the Midwest that puts on the Christkindlmarkets here in the Chicago region. Mark, I know it's been a busy day for you talking to the press and having meetings with the city. So how are lines, how is business now that the city's talked about easing up these restrictions?
Hi, Paris. Thanks for having me on. When we look at it, obviously we're thankful that the city allows another 1,000 people onto the plaza, but like you said, that's already way below COVID-era levels when we had social distancing. So you talk to our vendors, you know, their first week they were down 30 to 70% sales. So give them a little bump, that still means it's a losing year for all these vendors that came here to Chicago.
And when the city sprung this on you, as the reports say, literally the day before the market opened, what was their justification?
Well, it was an interpretation of code and wanting crowd management. Obviously, we've been working with the city for a long time and working on crowd management strategies, and we're happy with a happy medium. That's why even after this came out, we said, hey, let's go back to COVID era numbers. That worked then, and let's work from there to find the right solutions. And instead, it ended up being what we have today, and unfortunately for our vendors, it's been a really tough year.
Give us a sense of how much this is costing your average vendor out there.
Well, like I said, if sales are down 30 to 70% for any business in Chicago, they're not going to survive. And now you throw on top of it, these are vendors, artisans, they painted their ornaments, they made their goods to bring them over here, pay the tariffs, they get them here, and now suddenly the customers aren't even allowed to come onto the plaza to buy them, and instead are standing outside in long lines.
What kind of wait times have we seen in these lines? And as I asked before, are they coming down a little bit?
Well, today, the Monday after Thanksgiving is always our slowest day of the market every year. So today, with the weather and everything, we haven't had the long lines. But certainly as we get closer to Christmas, those lines are going to get longer and longer. And actually, those are our busiest times of year, not even Black Friday and Thanksgiving weekend.
Are there significant safety concerns with larger crowds, especially given, some of these high-profile incidents in the Loop over the last several weeks?
Yeah, and this is where I really have to credit our security team, credit Chicago Police Department, been fantastic partners over the years, and people end up coming to the market as a safe place downtown. So, it's been a great experience working with Chicago Police and really managing the crowds in a safe environment historically, which is why this took us by, really shocked us when this came down.
What would be an acceptable compromise? As the city has said, they're going to continue to try and figure out a solution here.
Yeah, and credit to the mayor's office for working with us on this, but we're not where we need to be yet. So from the beginning, we said, hey, we'll find a compromise. We'll start with the COVID levels. We knew those worked to keep social distancing. And then let's adjust from there to see what we can get to for effective crowd management, manage the lines. But that was our position right away with the city is, hey, give us at least COVID. We know that worked.
Mark, what are some of the highlights this year that perhaps you don't want some of the visitors to miss?
Well, that's a great point. Help our small business vendors come out here, whether it's getting your favorite bratwurst, your Nürnberger, your Thüringer, coming out here, trying the goulash soup, the roasted nuts. I mean, it goes on and on. But then explore the vendors that brought their wares over here from Germany. The Honey House. Go over, try Chicago staples like the Chicago Tea House. So we have local vendors born and bred here in Chicago, all the way to the ones that came to us all the way from Germany and other countries too.
Always a great tradition. Maybe you wash it down with some Glühwein, some Glug after checking out all those stores.
Absolutely. Warm up with the Glühwein after you've waited in line. It comes to us from Nürnberg, so it's the authentic real deal from Germany. So warm up with the Glühwein. We know this week's going to be a little cold coming ahead with the weather, so all the more reason to come inside, enjoy yourself, warm up, and celebrate the holidays.
All right, Mark Tompkins, from the German American Chamber of Commerce. Thank you so much. Stay warm out there.
Oh, thank you, Paris.
And up next, recent incidents sparking new criticism of the Safety Act. Stay tuned.